Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to another Pause and Pray. Yesterday I had the gift of spending some time with my 3-year-old grandson, T-Man A. We were building towers out of plastic cups over in the rectory. And being silly, I purposely didn't use a lot of cups at the bottom so there wouldn't be a good foundation and everything would quickly come crumbling down and T-Man A would laugh at my silliness. But he caught on quickly and began to tell me as I built another tower, "No, Papa J, more cups at the bottom, more cups at the bottom." He recognized that without a strong foundation, nothing meaningful could be built. So we added more cups and we ended up building a tower higher than either of us anticipated. We celebrated with a high five and joyous laughter. But that playful interaction with T-Man A got me reflecting on the foundations of my life and the importance of coming back to them again and again. In today's daily office, we pray Psalm 18, which is a psalm that begins with the psalmist's cry for deliverance from God. And as the psalm progresses and the psalmist begins to experience deliverance and redemption from God, that work begins by God laying bare the foundations of life, as the text says in verse 16. Interesting that work of redemption can only happen if the foundations are exposed and looked at in an honest way. And in that, isn't there a holy invitation, maybe a challenging invitation for us today to pause and pray, to take a good, honest look at the foundations of our lives. And if you're like me, as I did that work this morning, I suspect you'll find some beautiful and life-giving foundations. Although the invitation maybe for me that I found this morning was to not only be grateful for those foundations, but to tend to them a bit more often in my life. And if you're like me, you might also find some foundations that with an honest look you realize they're not all that conducive to supporting a lot of growth in my life. But either way, this holy season of Advent invites us to offer all of those foundations, both sturdy and not so sturdy, to Emmanuel, our God who longs to walk with us and work within and upon those foundations of our lives, all so that we, by God's grace, can find ourselves standing on something that's more sturdy and sustaining. Advent peace and blessings to you all.